Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's challenging level puzzle, and it's called Heliopolix's Birthday Cleanup by Timotab. And here are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 to 9 in every row, column, and box once each. Shade some cells such that all shaded cells are orthogonally connected and all unshaded cells are orthogonally connected, and no 2x2 area is fully shaded or unshaded. So we call this, in variant Sudoku land, the yin-yang rule set. Because it kind of looks like a yin-yang if you have certain, well, in certain shapes, right? So say these are the shaded cells, and the whites are the unshaded cells. Orthogonally connected just means that they share an edge. So all the shaded cells are orthogonally connected, which means that they share a cell with another shaded cell, and it connects all the shaded cells in the puzzle. And then same thing with the unshaded cells, right? And the no 2x2 area is fully shaded or unshaded. As you can see in this puzzle, that is the case. So that's why this is a valid yin-yang shading. And this is a fairly common shading rule set. So if you want to do multiple variant Sudokus, you'll see this rule set a decent amount of times. And so that's the shading, and that's a yin-yang shading that we usually call it. Digits cannot repeat in cages and must sum to the value in the top left corner of the cage if given. So basically, these three digits must add up to 9. These digits cannot repeat, but they couldn't repeat because of normal Sudoku rules. Yeah, actually, none of the cages actually give any extra information there. These 4 digits must add up to 29, and the rest of the cages we don't have any information in the upper left corner, so they could be any sum right now. If a cage contains a diamond, that cage's total indicates how many cells of the same color, shaded or unshaded, are seen orthogonally from the position of the cell marked with a diamond, including itself. The other color blocks vision. So in this example then, so the digit, okay, well, already we know this, already know from this position, well, actually, yeah, it can't be correct. We know that this shading is not correct because this would see eight shaded cells, including itself. Remember, it includes itself, and it would be blocked by the unshaded cells. So this would be 8, but then we know that the sum of the cage has to be 8, and it says it's 9, so that's not possible. But anyways, yeah, because there's a diamond here, that says that the cage's total is the number of cells it sees that are the same. The number of cells that this specific cell sees that are the same shading. Therefore, this would also be 8 too, because it sees 8, and therefore this would have to be an 8 specifically, because the sum of the cage would have to be 8. So this would be an 8 in that case. This would sum to 8, so the sum of this cage would have to be 8 because this diamond sees 8 unshaded cells. So this would be the sum of the cage would be 8. This sum of the cage would also be 8, so that's also another reason why this wouldn't work, because this would see 8 digits, so the sum of the cage must be 8, therefore this would have to be 8. This would see... okay, this would also be 8. So this would have to sum to 8. This is not a good example, probably. Okay, this is an good example. So this would have to be 17, because it would see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shaded cells, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shaded cells. So this would have to be, the cage value would have to be 17 here. All the other ones are 8. This because it sees 8 unshaded cells. This also sees 8 unshaded cells. So all of these cages would have to be 8 if that were the case. And that's how diamonds work in cages. Cells separated by a white dot are consecutive. Cells separated by a black dot are in a 1:2 ratio, and these are called Kropke dots. All dots lie on a border between the shaded and unshaded cell. So first of all, let's do white Kropke dots. An example of this would be if this is a 6, this would have to be a 5 or a 7 to maintain the consecutiveness there. For black Kropke dots, if this were a 2 as an example, this would have to be a 1 or a 4 to maintain a 1:2 ratio for the black Kropke dots. And then all dots lie on the border between a shaded and an unshaded region. So let's use my previous example. Okay, if this were shaded, this would have to be unshaded, right? Because all dots are same with this. If this is shaded, this would have to be unshaded, and we're going to make those green, right? If this were unshaded, this would have to be shaded, and vice versa. So that's one thing we know about the Kropke dots, is that they always lie on the border between shaded and unshaded regions. Anyways, those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay, so... let's mark these borders with red. So we know this has to be a boundary. This is 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 a boundary. That's interesting. And this is a boundary. We know this diamond sees 9 of the same type of as itself. Let's make these orange and pink. So this could see at most 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this has to be the same set shading as this one then. And in addition, we know it sees these two because this has to see 9. And this is a boundary, so therefore this could be C3 at most. This could see 1 at most here. So that's 4 at most. So therefore you need at least 5 here. So this is the same. So we have these 6. It could be this one and it could be this one, but we don't know. Therefore, this is the other shading. So we're going to make that orange. And therefore, this has to be the same shading. So it sees those two. We know these 3 digits must add up to at least 6. So therefore, this sees at least 6 digits. 6 of the same shading. So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we know this has to be at least of the same shading. So this is at least 6. This is at least 3. This is one of these two is shaded. We're not sure at which. This is orange. So this sees at least 7. So this could be 7, 8, or 9, right? Because it's the same as its total of the cage. And we know it sees at least these 6. Or sorry, these 7. Or it could be these 7. We don't know which, because it has only 3 here. This has to be a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as possibilities. This, we don't know about this. This can only be, so this can only see 10 cells at most. And this has to add up to 10 then, at most. And at minimum, if you have 4 cells here with unique digits, they add up to at minimum 10. So therefore, this has to be 10 total. Because it only sees 1, 2 at most, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this has to be 1 through 4. This is in a 2 to 1 ratio. So this is 2, 1, or 2, 4. So this cannot be 1, because if it's 1, that would have to be with 2, which is impossible because we know the 2 is already here. It could be 3, or it could be 4. If it's 3, it has to be with 6. If it's 4, it has to be with 8. But we know these 4 digits add up to 29. Therefore, it's a 5, 7, 8, 9 quad, because those are the only 4 digits, unique digits, that add up to 29. Therefore, this can't be 8. This is 6. This is 3. This has to be 1 or 4. Okay, so these shading is all the same. We're going to make it yellow, and then the opposite one is green. So it sees all 10 of these. Okay. This has to see 9. So therefore, this has to be a 9. Because it's all the same shading. So this one has to be a different one. So this is green. Which forces this to be yellow then, because of that. Oh, wait. No, that's not true. It could extend this way. Never mind. Right, this is 2 digits. This is 2-digit cage. So it could add up to more than 9. We don't know what it is then. Okay. We don't know about this shading. Okay, we do know yin yang. So we have 3 yellows here. Therefore, this must be the other shading. Therefore, this must be the other shading because no 2x2 region can have the same shading. So we know this is green. Okay. Hmm. These are the same shading, but we're not sure what they are. So we're going to do medium and dark. So these are the same shading. Actually, are they? They don't have to be. You could have swap. Oh, okay. One thing about yin yang shading is if you ever have 2. Okay, so one other thing. There's 2 tricks that I know of on yin yang shading. If you ever have one that's basically the same shading, and then you switch to the other shading. So say this actually became like green, right? And therefore this would have to be green, right? The thing is, once you swap, you can only swap once more back, right? Because if you try to have a yellow in here and then a green out here, right? How does this connect? The yellow has to be one orthogonally connected region, right? So it would have to connect somewhere here. But that would necessarily break the green regions into two separate regions. So therefore, you cannot have that. Once you swap, you have to swap all the way. So then this would have to be all yellow, if that's the case. Right? So if you swap to yellow, you have to continue with the yellow in that case. Now, similarly to that, if you have two of one color in diagonal positions with each other, so say this was blue, right? Actually, we probably want to make this, anyways. Remove the green. We're gonna make the green red because I like using green as the main unshaded cell color. Actually, is there a difference between shaded and unshaded? I don't think so, right? Yeah, there's no difference between shaded and unshaded, so you can shade one or unshade the other one. It doesn't matter. Anyways, one thing I wanted to say then is that if you have two of the same color, or same shading specifically, a diagonal position, obviously it can't be all four of these are the same shade. So one of them has to be unshaded then, or of a different color. But the last remaining one must be blue here in this example, because if it were green, how does that work? The green obviously has to connect somehow to form one continuous orthogonally connected region. But the problem is by doing that, that would break the blue region into two separate regions. So that's not allowed. That's why you cannot have, if you have two diagonals in a position together, you know that the other two, one of them has to be shaded, one of them has to be the different color, but one of them has to be the same. So you can never have a cross of different colors. So this is never allowed in yin-yang puzzles. Therefore, because of that, we know this has to be red, which forces this to be yellow. This has to be red. This, so this can never be yellow, because if this were yellow, this would have to be red, and then we would have that cross that we said you can't have. Therefore, this must be red. This must be yellow. We have 3 digits in the 2x2, which are 3 cells in the 2x2, which are the same shading. So this cannot be that shading. It has to be yellow. This also has to be yellow. And because of that rule we're talking about of diagonaling same color cells, this has to be yellow, and this has to be yellow. This could still actually be red, because if all of this is yellow, that's possible, right? It's unlikely, but it's possible. So this has to be yellow, yellow, yellow. At least one of these is red. We're not sure which, or both. If this is yellow, this is red. If this is red, this is yellow. So the rest of this row doesn't seem to have anything. Oh, this has to be, okay. This has to be 7, 8, or 9, and it's next to a black dot. 7 and 9 can never be next to a black dot, because 7 can never be in a 1-to-2 ratio with another, can't be double another digit, and 7 is in a 1-to-2 ratio with 14, which is not a digit. Same with 9. 9 can't be double any other digit, and it's doubled is 18, which is not a digit. Therefore, this must be 8, and this has to be 4. So this sees 8 specifically. So therefore, it must include this. So this sees 8. This sums to 9. So this diamond forces this to be 9. So therefore, it has to be this one. So it cannot see this one, though. This has to be orange, which forces this to be the pink. So we don't know if it sees it this way or if it sees it this way or if it sees it this way. This can no longer be 4. This can only see... Wait, it can't be 9, for one thing, this way. It cannot be 9 this way, right? Because if it is 9 this way, we know there's a 2x2 area which has the other shading in it, and therefore we know it has to cross there, which is impossible if all of this is the same color. So it cannot see the complete shading in the same color here. It could be 8, 9, 10, 11. That's potentially possible. So this could be up to 11. This could be up to 17. So the sum of this could be 11, up to 11. This could be up to 17. Not 14, 17. This could be 1, 2, 3, and it cannot be the full amount. It could be potentially 8. So 8 plus 9, 10, 11. Okay, but that wouldn't work either. So this could be 8, 9, 10. This has to be a different one, so it cannot close it off here. So this would be 10 at most. So this value has 10 at most. This value has, well, okay, so we know this is a boundary. This could be either 1, 2 this way, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at maximum if it's red. If it's yellow, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But if it is the whole thing here, that would close off red from... Well, it could be all of these, right? So it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it could be up to 11. Okay, so this could be 11. This, okay, cannot be 9 anymore. It's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, or 7. It cannot be 9 because it has to be consecutive with something. So this is, okay, so this could be 11. This can be specifically 1, 2, or 3, or it's 5, 6, or 7. Right? Because these have to be consecutive. This could be 9 to 7. It can't be 17, though. It could be 16, possibly. This is 1 or 4. This is 2 with a 1 to 4 ratio. 1 to 4 with it. What else could this be? This sees... Interesting. This has to be at least 6. So the thing is, if it sees this way, that would be 1... Well, it could be the same one, technically. Oh, it cannot. This cannot be... Okay. So this obviously does not see this way. It sees at most 6 this way, and it can be 7 here at most. Right? Because it cannot continue, it cannot be both of these. It cannot see both of these because we know all of these are the same shading. This has to be the same shading. Therefore, it can be at most 1 here this way, and therefore it has to have 5 at least this way. So therefore, these are the same shading. And therefore, it cannot be, it has to be 6 exactly. So this is 1, 2, and 3, because therefore this has to be 3. This cannot be 3, this cannot be 3, because these are consecutive. Because these add up to 6, because this diamond only sees 6 at most. It can see 1 this way. It could see 6 more this way, but then that would be 1, 2, 4, adding up to 7, which is not allowed. So this can't be 6 anymore, because that would have to be 1 and 2 there, which eliminates all possibilities there. This has to be 5, 6, 7, and 9. And this has to be 4 through 9 here. 4, 7, 8, 9. This is between 2 unique digits, so this can't be 4 because this would have to be next to 3 and 5, which is not possible. And this can't be 9, so this is 5, 6, 7, or 8. This can't be 6. Therefore, this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, but this can't be 4 or 8. So this cannot be 5 here, because that would have to be 4. It could be, I guess. No, it could be. 4, 5, and 6 is still possible. 4, 5, 6 is possible. 5, 6, 7 is possible. 7, 6, 5 is possible. 8, 7, 6 is possible. 7, 8, 9 is possible. And 9, 8, 7 is possible. So yeah, those are all still possible. Interesting. This has to be orange because we have a 2 by 2 area, 3 of which are the same shading. This is also orange, so therefore this is pink. So this has to be orange, therefore this is pink. Therefore, this only sees 6, so pink cannot be yellow, because then that would see 7. Oh, actually, I actually was wrong. This could have been 8 if that was pink, but that can never be pink. Therefore, okay, so this works still the same way. So therefore, this is still 6 for the sum, and it sees 6. This is orange, so therefore, yellow cannot be pink. Therefore, yellow. So we're going to make the pink essentially blue, because it doesn't matter what the shading is. So yellow is green, and then red has to be blue. Right? Because we know this only sees 6. This diamond only sees 6, so therefore it sees all these. Therefore, this is a boundary. We don't know about this. One of these is, yeah, so then orange is the same as green. So this one can't be. We know this has to be green because of the 2 by 2 area, and this has to be green because of the 2 by 2 area. This is blue. This green must connect with the other green. So this is blue, which means this has to be blue. Since it's already changed to blue here from green, and you can't have, again, you can't have this breaking it apart, this must be green. Which forces this to be the boundary. This is the boundary. This green has to connect with the other green, so therefore that's a boundary, and this is green. We have 3 greens here in the 2 by 2 area, so this can't be green, this is blue, which forces this boundary. We have these boundaries. It connects with one of these, we're not sure which, so this could be either 9 or it could be 11. So this is 9 or 11. We know we have 9 or 11 here. This sees at least 8. Oh, I didn't realize, but it could actually be more here. Okay, these three are blue. Therefore, this cannot be blue. This has to be green. Since it's already changed then, all of this has to be green. Because you can't, again, you can't have the blue go out and break up the green into two segments. So this must be blue. This sees specifically 16, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 9. So this is 16, which forces this to be 7 and 9. So this is 7 and 9. We have a 7, 9, 7, 9 pair in row 9. The rest of the row cannot contain 7 or 9. So this can't be 7 or 9. This can't be 7 or 9. We have a 5, 8, 5, 8 pair in row 9 also, which eliminates all the 5/8s in the rest of the row. So therefore, this is 4. This can only be 5 to be consecutive with it, and therefore this is 6 to be consecutive with this. Therefore, the 6 cannot be. We can't have a 5 and a 7 anymore, because 5 and 7 can only be consecutive with 6. Therefore, this has to be 2 with 1 or 3. This can never be 1, because it has to see at least 2 other ones, right? Because it has to be connected to the set. So this can't be 1. This has to be 1, 2, or 3. So this can't be 2. We have a 1, 2, 3 triplet now in column 5. So the rest of the column cannot contain 1, 2, or 3. This can't be 6 either. The rest of the column must be 5, 7, or 9. This can't be 5, so this is 7 or 9. 4 or 5 are not allowed. This can't be 6. This can't be 4 or 5. So 6 and 7 both have to be here in box 5 in column 6. So this can't be 7, right? Because there's no 6 and 7s, or actually it could be 7. This is still, yeah, 6s are here. Sorry. This is blue. One of these is blue, one of these is green. We're not sure which. This must be... Okay. So this is 9 or it's 11. This is 2 or 3. This cannot be green because of the 2x2 area, therefore it's blue. This is cross diagonally green, therefore this can't be diagonally blue because that would break it into yin yang, which doesn't work. Therefore this has to be green. This is a 1 to 2 ratio, so it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, or 8. This cannot be 3 or 4. It could be 1, 2 specifically. Cannot be 2, 3. Cannot be 3, 4. Could be 4, 5. So this would be 5 and 4. It could be 7, 8, or 8, 9. These are consecutive. It cannot be 3, 5, 6, 7, or 9. So this, therefore, it can't be 8. Cannot be 4. This can't be 5. Anyways, it can't be 5 or 8. So this has to be 1, 2, 4, and 8 here. So this is 1, 2, 4, and 8. The only ones that are consecutive with each other are 1 and 2. So therefore, this is 1 and 2. This can't be 1 or 2. This is 4 or 8. We have a 1, 2, 1, 2 pair in box 7. So the rest of the box cannot contain 1 or 2. Therefore, this must be 3. Which means that can't be 3. So therefore, this is 1. This is 2. This can't be 1. This has to be a 2, 3 pair. This cannot be 4, therefore it must be 8. Therefore, this must be 4. Therefore, this sees 7 of its brethren. The only one that fits... So can it ever see 7 greens? No, right? Because these, if this is green, obviously these wouldn't count. Then you would have to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but then that would extend this to 8. So therefore, this cannot be green. This has to be blue, which means this sees 7 blues. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So therefore, that's blue. This can't be blue because of the 2x2 rule, so therefore this is green, which means this has to be blue. So cannot be here. This cannot be, well, we don't know. This can't be here. We have 3 blues here in a 2x2 area, therefore this is green. So we have that area. This can't even be 10 now. It has to extend at least to here. So that, oh wait, no, this has to have at least 6. So it's 7. So it has to go all the way here. Okay. So this is 7 because it has to have at least 6. So therefore it's 7. Therefore this is 1, 2, and 4. Oops. This is 1, 2, and 4 to add up to 7. This cannot be 1. So it can't be it could be 3 though, and it could be 5. Right, if this is 1, that would have to be 2, but we know 1, 2, and 4 is here. This can't be 2. This is 3. This is 2. This cannot be blue, therefore this is green. And it must see only 1 green. These 3 are blue, therefore this can't be blue. This is green, and that must be the 1 green, so therefore this is blue. There's 3 blues here, therefore this can't be blue. This must be green. This sees 2. It has to connect with the other green, so it has to connect out here. These 3 are green, therefore this can't be green. This must be blue. So we have this. And this, and this. There are 3 blues here, therefore this must be green. So this is green. This sees how many? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So therefore this has to add up to 12. Therefore this is a 9. So this can't be 9. This can't be 9. These all can't be 9. 6 is one of those 2. This is 2, which sees 2. This is 7, which sees 7. This is 7 also, which sees 7. This sees 16. This sees 9. This sees 8. This sees 6. Therefore, it's just this one, right? So let's do some more Sudoku. This can't be 8, so this is 7, which forces this to be 9, which forces this to be a 6-8 pair. This can't be 9. This is in a 1 to 2 ratio. This cannot be 1, 2, or 4, so it could be 3, 6, or 8. If this is 3 or 6, this is 3 or 6. If this is 8, this is 4. That's fine. This can't be 2 anymore. Therefore, this can never be 1, because 1 has to be a 1 to 2 ratio with 2 only. This is 1 and 2. This has to be what? 5, 6, and 8. Okay. This can no longer be 3. This can't be 6, because if this is 6, this becomes 1 and 2. And that, therefore, this doesn't have any possibilities there. So this can't be 6. Let's see, what else do we know? What's the rest of row 6? It has to be 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 5, 6, or 7, but it can't be 6, so this is now 6, 8. We have a 6, 8 pair in box 5. We have a 5, 7 pair in box 5. Therefore, this must be 1 and 4. So then this has to be 3. This has to be, again, 5, 6, 7, 8. But 6 cannot be here. Where is the 6 in row 6? It has to be in one of these two cells, so therefore there cannot be a 6 in the rest of the box, so this can't be 3, 6 anymore. So it's either 1, 2, or it's 4, 8. We're not sure which. So this is 1, 4, 8. It could add up to... So 8 also is in one of these three cells in row 6. So therefore, in box 6, it cannot contain an 8, because the 8 has to be in row 6 in those three cells. Therefore, this cannot be 8. It could, therefore, this is 2 with 1 or 4. And therefore, this is 1 or 4 also. Therefore, this is the 2. So, this can add up to 9 or 11. We have a 1, 4, 1, 4 pair. But this can only add up to 9 or 11. So if it's 9, it would have to be 5 or 8. If it's 11, this is 4 and 7 specifically. It can never be 8. Right? Because we know the 8's here. So 1 cannot be with 8 anymore. So 4, this has to be 4 with 5 or 7. So this is 4, which makes this 1, which makes that 4. So this adds up to 10, that's fine. This can't be 2 anymore, so there's no 1 allowed, because they have to be consecutive. We have a 1, 3, 9 left over in box 6, and neither of these could be 3, therefore this is 3. This has to be 1 and 9 then. Since this is 1 and 9, this can never be 9, so this is either 4, 5, or 7, 8. This is also 4, 5, 4, 7, 8, but the 8 can't be here specifically because that's 8. If this is 4, 5, this has to be 7, which forces this to be 8. If this is 7, 8, then this could be 4. This would have to be 4, because that would have to be 5. So if this is 4, 5, this is 7, which forces this to be 8. And if this is 7, 8, this has to be 5, which makes this 4. So this is 5 or 8, and this is 4 or 7 then. Let's see, 2, 1, and 2. So we don't know about this yet. This could be either way. This can't be 4 anymore, so this must be 1, which forces this to be 4. This can't be 1, so this is 9, which makes that 1. This can't be 3 anymore, so this has to be 6 and 8 with 3 and 4. Since this is 3 and 4, still could be 2 and 3 here. Huh. We have a 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuplet in column 2. This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So the rest of the column cannot contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this can't be 5. We have a 6, 8, 6, 8 pair now in column 2. So therefore it can't be 6 or 8 either. So this must be 7 or 9. This must be... this has to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or 5, 7, 9, because we have a 6, 8, 6, 8 pair now in row 4. So therefore this is also 5, 7, or 9. Then we have 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 here. This is also 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, but this can't be 3 here. This can't be 4. Let's So we know one of the 1 or 2s has to be in column 3 for box 1. The other one has to be here. Therefore, we know the 3 has to be here, right? Because it's either 1 or 2. You can't have 1, 2, 6. You can only have then 1, 3, 5 adding up to 9 and 2, 3, 4 adding up to 9. So this can never be 6. Therefore, this is always 3. So this is always 3. This is always 3, which eliminates 3's here. That can't be 3. Therefore, this must be 3, which forces this not to be 3. So this has to be 4. And that's 4 and 8 then. With this 4 cannot be 4. Therefore, this is 2. This has to be 3. This can't be 2. This is 1. This is 2. Therefore, this is 1, this is 4. This can't be 1, 2, 3, or 4. It must be 5, which means it must be with 1 and 3. To add up to 9, that's 5. That's 3 in the corner. We celebrate. No 3 here. No 8 here. This can't be 8, therefore this is 6. This can't be 6, therefore this is 8. This can't be 8, so this is 6. This can't be 5. This cannot be 5. This has to be 6, 7, 8, or 9. And then we have 2, 6, 7, 8, or 9, but this can't be 8. So that adds up to 9. This adds up to 7. We don't know about this one yet. This adds up to 10. This adds up to 29. Okay. This has to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But this can't be 5 or 8. This could be any of those. Those work. And 1 and 2 have to be one of these. And we were with 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 again. No 5 or 8. This can't be 1. So 4 and 7 both have to be here. Because those are the ones, those are the only places they can be for column 7. So this cannot contain a 7 or a 4, but there's no 4 in the other places. This can't be 4 anymore. Therefore, this cannot be 4, 5. Therefore, it's a 7, 8 pair, which means the 7 and 8 cannot be in the rest of the row or column. So therefore, this is 4, this is 5. This can't be 5. This must be 7, which means these are all green because it must add up to 11, and it sees 11. Therefore, this is blue, and we have all the coloring. And hopefully, we should have all Sudoku now. So this can't be 7. This is 5 and 6. This can't be 5 then. This is 7 and 9, which forces this to be 5 because of the 7, 9 pair, which forces this to be 7. That can't be 7 anymore. Therefore, this is 8. This is 7. There's no more 8s in the rest of box 3. This can't be 5 or 7. This can't be 7. Therefore, that's 9 by Sudoku. This must be 7. This can't be 9. This can't be 6. This can't be 6. These can't be 8 anymore. Where is the 8 in box 1? It cannot be here, here, or here. Therefore, it must be here. So this is 8, which means this can't be 8. This is 5. This is 8, which makes that a 6 and that a 5. These can't be 6 anymore. Whereas the 6 in box 1, it has to be here. This can't be 7. These can't be 7, so it's 5, 6, and 9, which forces this to be 7. Let's see. This can't be 6 anymore. This can't be 6 anymore. This can't be 7, therefore this is a 9, which forces that to be 2 and that to be 7. This is a 1 by Sudoku. This is a 2 by Sudoku. We have a 6, 9, 6, 9 pair. So this can't be 6 or 9 in the rest of the row, so it can't be 2, so this is 1, which means this can't be 1 or 2, so this is 5, which forces this to be 9. Whereas a 2 here, 2 can only be here for box 3, so this is 6, 9, 6, 9 pair, which forces this to be 8, and that to be 6, and therefore this to be 8, and this is 5. This can't be 9 anymore, therefore this must be 7, which makes that 9, which makes that 7, which makes that 9. This can't be 9 anymore, so this is 6, this is 9, that's 6, and this must be 5. And that's a solution. And happy birthday to Heliopolix. Um, yeah, I love coloring puzzles, so this was right down my alley. I love these sort of things, and just being able to shade and unshade. The funny thing is, though, that there's no difference between the shaded region and the unshaded region, right? So it could be either way. But still very enjoyable puzzle. And I hope you had an enjoyable time watching my solve. And I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.